Good morning, we the people. Let me get a one if I got good audio for you. Awesome. What's up, Tattoo Man? Doing all right. Sun shining. How you doing today? Yeah. I'm just messing around in here. Open panel. If anybody wants to come up. Yeah, the sun is shining today. They say like 60s or something here today. All right. Got you guys some wrenches. So how's your guys' day going? Luck Fires. Open topic. Open topic. How you doing this morning, brother? We're just in here messing around, you know. Still a small channel. Need those watch minutes. Need those subs. But yeah, it's open panel. Topic is open for discussion. I was just watching your video this morning, Luck Fires. Yeah, I can't wait until Masshole gets a hold of me too, huh? They definitely like picking on people. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Had a little time to get on here. Open panel, I feel that way. We can help the other channels out as well. Everybody's got an opinion, all right? Yeah, no rush. We're here. Hanging in there. talked with Amazing Audits this morning a little bit. He's out of jail, and he's got a court date upcoming. So hopefully he has good luck with that. 16th, I think he said. So hopefully that goes well for him. Yeah. I was talking with Audit Florida CW this morning. Janet Matson. I was talking with her for a second this morning. Extra Good Citizen. Was talking with them this morning. If you guys don't have those pages, let me know. I can put them up. Nothing huge planned though, guys. Just open panel, open topic. I need to work on my avatar there instead of that blank screen. I need to make that happen. The picture I got on my YouTube there, it's from a place in Hooper, Colorado. I went on vacation to, and it's a geothermal heated water there, and I guess it was a tilapia farm at one point, and then eventually it grew into like a gator park. So we went there and checked that out this year. It was pretty cool. So that's where the photograph there came from. But so we got the election news, right? We can always talk about that. I hate politics, but it is the news this morning, right? So far, from what I can see, electoral votes 238 for Biden, 213 for Trump. There's a few states that really haven't finalized yet, but we will see. It's looking like a close call. 270 to win. I don't know about this electoral votes. Not really a big fan of it. So what's everybody want to talk about? You're more than welcome to come up on the panel, or you can talk from the chat. That's fine too. Get a few people in here. Yeah. Yeah. Wait for a few people to get in here. Let the stream run a few minutes. Luck Fires said he'd be back shortly. Getting some Wi-Fi. But yeah, it's open topic. Just getting the watch minutes up, guys. It's hard for small channels. If you'd like your channel showcased, we can pull that up on the screen. Try to help you guys out if I can help you out. My channel's just little compared to some of your guys' channels, and I appreciate the support. Just returning the favor where I can, if I can. And share the stream, like, subscribe if you haven't. Still have my camera off. I need to fix that avatar, but for now, it's just the white avatar. But no camera for now, so I can get my legal business handled. Just gonna stay in a secret location. So, if you ain't doing nothing, feel free to click the StreamYards link that's up there. You're more than welcome to come up. We can do a feature. How's everybody doing today? Beautiful day. So it's open topic. And you just click this link if you want to come up on the panel. And like me, you don't have to use a camera. You can turn it off if that's how you feel. No, you're good. Luck Fars, take your time. We're gonna let this stream run for a little while. You never know what it'll turn into. I find often you start without a topic, it's usually best because, well, other people got things they want to talk about, you know? I could talk about stuff all day, but what does it mean? Yeah. You guys see I've been featuring Deadbeat E on YouTube. He's got links on my channel there. But he just released a new one yesterday. He's trying to get them views up. If you got time, help the guy out. Give him a thumbs up, subscribe, share. Right now, YouTube's like kind of the raw form of media, right? So all these little channels have to support each other. The big media stations, they're gonna get support either way. It's up to us to support each other here. So we got let's see, I'm gonna do a screen share. So we got Amazing Audits. Talked to them this morning. He just broke 100,000. 1,000. He just broke 1,000. Sorry. So yeah. Dealing with Court. You get time, give him a like. Subscribe. We got new record release right here. Deadbeat E. 207 views. Can we get his views up? Short video. Some thumbs up. Let me see. This is his channel right here. 433 subscribers. SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook. All right here. If you guys want to show him some support. 27 videos. See if we can get those views. Subscribes up for him. Cause yeah. He don't have no record label or nothing. I went to school with this guy. I know the area that's in this video right here, actually. Yeah. Memories. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Who else did I talk to this morning? I talked to a few people. It was a busy morning. I see you. Here we come. Good morning.
Hey. How are you, man?
Hanging in there, brother. How are you?
You may be killing your channel by letting me on.
Hey, sometimes that happens, right? I know you've seen the one I done with Eric Brandt. A lot of people say that as well, but we're all entitled to our opinions, right?
What did you do with Eric Brandt? I didn't see that, and I'm sorry.
Just a little thing. I got some property over in southern Colorado, and I've owned the land there for a while. And I was dealing with a lot of I don't know, like for example, I sent certified mail, no response. You call, they screen the calls, no response. You go down there, armed guard, you need an appointment, no response. So I was having a lot of issues with them, and I was getting no response for probably a good year in total, but 6 months.
Who are you talking to? Who are you trying to get a hold of?
Well, all different people. That's what was so crazy about it is the county commissioner, There's 3 of those. We sent mail to them. The county administrator, we sent him certified mail. Just I was able to talk to people on the city level, but my land is in the county. So there's a huge long backstory to it actually too. So anyways,
what were you trying to do?
I was actually trying to file a complaint on a code enforcement officer who was a deputy, lost his job as a deputy, and then went over to code enforcement, picked up a job there. And
Still thought he was a cop.
He was harassing me before as a cop, and then it just continued on as code enforcement. And so I'm trying to like clear my they're telling me I'm violating this code or that code, right? So I bring documentation down there and try to show them, and they don't even want to look at it or nothing. They just continue to harass me. And I did a peaceful protest out in front of the courthouse for about 2 hours, and then Eric Brandt showed up, and then he and a few others actually went to gather paperwork and make a complaint from what they had saw in the video, and they were denied a complaint as well, any paperwork as well. So it's just, I don't use that land much anymore. It was geared to be my camp, like to get away, but yeah.
So first of all about Eric Brandt, I actually have, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've shifted my opinion, and I admire the hell out of him. I hate that he's incarcerated right now, if he still is. I don't really know what I can do to help him, or that I can't.
And that was recently here too, that you had to change your heart, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've shifted position, man. I shift positions. It's one of the things I do. I'll get triggered on something. It's like News Now Houston. I got really triggered about stuff that was going on with him. And then I thought, you know what? If I were in the position of being accused of something, I would want someone to give me the right to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And here I was going ahead and assuming that he was guilty of something that I really don't believe at the time now. So I just, I came out and did an apology video for him. And I don't like that he supports Patrick. I consider Patrick a scammer. I consider Patrick unethical. But as far as News Now Houston, I support him, like his work. And Eric, I saw his interview with this news anchor in the interview room.
Yeah. Yep.
And it just, when I saw him act in a way that wasn't screaming and volatile,
right.
It totally changed my opinion of him. And so I had to step back and say, wait a minute. Okay. I got it wrong. And all of us is our opinion anyway. So
he is highly educated though. He is, and he's got a huge heart,
He does. I know when he tried to help Blind Justice, and I think he's still maybe trying to help Blind Justice. That's how I kind of got connected with him more. But I kind of had to step away from all that stuff going on with Mike, because if chaos is what somebody wants, I know how to deal with chaos, but I don't know how to endorse it.
I've seen those videos too. I've seen, I've been watching you. But as far as Eric, I think, he's a selfless person. Like, he's not doing any of this for him. He really is doing it for everybody else. And once they see that, and like you said, see the side of him where, he is a very educated person, and he's a veteran. He's doing the right thing, because freedom of speech is not meant to cover favorable speech. We know that. So
fucking cunts.
Like, for him to have to go to such extremes it's terrible, but he does it well.
So let me ask you a couple questions about this deal you got going on.
Yes, sir.
How did you mail them? Did you just send them regular first class mail?
To the commissioners, I sent regular first class mail to the administrator, and a few others I certified. And I have the receipt from 6/12 or something like that. When I certified the county administrator. And
Did you do return receipt?
yeah, I got it in an email, when they signed for it.
All right, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, me either.
All right, I can't give you legal advice.
Right.
I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV.
Right.
So, what I have found that works for me is to send mail by registered mail. There is a clerking process that another friend of mine taught me that I use exclusively. If you want to go back and look at this video, you can get that. It's Postal Operations Manual 231. It's under philately. Anyway, it says that. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, 6/16 was when we sent the certified mail, and yeah, then we got the receipt that they received it. No response, And so I did a video, and I went down there with the video running, and I went to the courthouse, and I said, I'd like to speak to him. And they said, well, do you have an appointment? And I was like, well, no, I can't make an appointment. I can't get a hold of the guy. He screens his calls, So they give me the same phone number that's online. It was kind of comical. And they ran me in a circle. They give me the chase your tail all around town for like an hour and a half. I did a whole video of that. And that's the one that Eric seen and was like, well, because they trespassed me from the building for trying to make a complaint about the code enforcement guy. And the guy got hurt because I assumed he was the man I was complaining about. It's like higher up, right? Like in some form in between him and the county administrator, I had assumed. And when I told him, I says, you're his boss, right? And he says, no, I'm not his boss. And I was like, oh, well, never mind. So I just disengaged with him. And I told my people, I says, never mind. I says, my bad. I thought he was his boss. He's nobody. Oh, his heart broke right there. And he called the law, threw me out of the building. And yeah, I got to make no complaint that day either. So that was the building we went back to. Yeah.
So is there any way that I can share the screen on StreamYard or no?
I'm not sure how that works. I'm kind of pretty new to this.
Okay. Here we go. Let's hit share screen. I hope I can figure out how to turn this off after I get it on, right? I got it.
You got it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me put you back full. Yeah, like OBS or something. You might be able to flip her that way. Yeah. I'm learning a little bit.
Okay. It's not going to let me because I'm share screen. I'm going to hit entire screen, and it's going to say, okay, Firefox cannot allow permanent access to your screen. I doubt. I only have two browsers on here, and I'm not going to go to the other one because it's VPN, and it's going to go overseas and slow us way down. So, okay, so I can't do that. Anyway, so I'll read it. It's Postal Operations Manual 231.63 A and B, and I'll actually paste it into the comments.
Yeah, let me make sure you got a wrench. I'll do that too real quick.
I don't know that I can get into the comments. Actually, I'll go on YouTube and put it on there. How about that?
Whatever's gonna work, man.
Shit, I don't think.
Maja, there's a wrench.
All right, so I'll just put the first part of it.
give Hot Rod his wrench. Hot Rod been sticking with me. See, Hot Rod, you're from over there, right? You're over there by Blind Justice, right?
Who? Hot Rod?
Hot Rod, yeah, he was one of
Yeah, I
he was
think
one
Hot
of
Rod.
them.
Is Hot Rod on here?
He's been pretty civil with me. Me and him, we do all
Yeah,
right.
I think Hot Rod really don't understand some of what or maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe he's adverse to what Blind Justice is doing a little bit, but he's not an asshole about it.
Right. Like we don't
yeah.
we don't see eye to eye on everything, but we're civil. So, and he's from over there, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, by the way, Hot Rod, I'm from over there too. I grew up on Forsyth County, and he knows where that is.
Yeah.
All right. So what I do with this 231.63 A and B is I take my mail into the post office, and I take the actual letter in. I put a forever stamp on the top right-hand corner. I also have the registered mail number already printed on the letter. And okay, so you're in South Carolina. I had a really good trip, Hot Rod, by the way, to Saluda, South Carolina, a long time ago. Came down there to a banquet. I love South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I hadn't been all over it, but I've been in it enough to know that I love it. It's kind of like Lisa Smith. Sorry about that. So I put the forever stamp on the top right-hand corner of my letter, and I go in and I tell them I want it postmarked for philately. So they have to put a round date on it, and it shows that letter was at that post office on that day, going out under that registered mail label. And when they get it, when the postal clerk gets it, actually registered mail is presumed as delivered the moment you hand it to the clerk. Certified is not so. But registered mail goes under lock and key and is protected through a chain of custody through the entire trip to the addressee. And so when the addressee gets it, he can't claim that. He can't claim that he didn't get it.
Right.
But so registered mail is kind of like service, and actually. I'm not sure what your rules of civil procedure are, but they could include registered mail as a form of service. If they do, then you can serve them the paper. I always include an offer as well. Here's my position, and if I don't hear back from you by time certain and date certain, which is important to state, then I will presume you're in tacit agreement with what I am offering.
Right.
And another thing to do is to bind them in trust. And if you can do that by sending them a payment to perform, even if it's a $10 postal money order, here's a payment for your services, et cetera, et cetera. What you're doing is giving them a benefit. And if they keep the benefit, it can turn into a resulting trust. I'm throwing out a lot of information here, but I've got a resulting trust with the state of North Carolina. And right, it's a long story. It's a really cool story, but it's not for today.
Right.
But if you pay them to perform, then you've prodded them into needing to give you a response. They can't keep the money. I always make the money order payable to them in trust. Put the words in trust on it.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of results from the way that I can, and I've learned all this stuff as I've gone along. And
that's the best way to learn it, right?
But at some point, I'm going to, here in the next month or so, I'm going to start up a Patreon and start putting out information on how to do process, how to communicate with bureaucrats. So,
yeah, have a good day, no justice. I got an echo on my end.
It's okay. Well, no, it's not me because I have. I'm watching the YouTube, but I have the YouTube tab muted.
Anybody else have an echo?
I don't have one.
No, it's gone now. Good. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of them things. We just got to I got to keep plugging away at them, you know. It's just a small town, so I'm sure I'll be able to keep them pretty busy. And everything they're messing with me on, I mean, there's it's all fraudulent. Like there's no they tried to serve me papers and they brought papers. They used a taser to serve them to me and my wife, and they were 4 days past due. The court date was already 4 days past on the paperwork they give us. Yeah. So it was luckily I didn't get tased. He just pulled it out and came after me a few times.
This was the same guy or a cop?
This was a deputy.
Okay.
Yeah, he came through my fence. I got him on video coming through my fence with he come up to my porch and he tried to hand me this paper and I wouldn't take it. So he set it down, and where he set it down at, I looked at the date on it and I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Okay, you can go now." And I got him out of the threshold of the doorway and I called for my wife. I was like, "Get the camera," cuz he didn't want to leave. And so she
He was in
came
the
out
threshold of your doorway?
Yeah, he I didn't have one of the doors closed. It was open, so he just walked in, you see. And so I was just trying to get him back out the threshold. And while I was doing that, she got her camera and went live on Facebook. And he was still trying to hand papers. He had already set the papers down. And then yeah, he ended up pulling out his taser, and it was pretty wild. I mean, he didn't tase me, but he sure was threatening me. So yeah, the papers were expired. No reason to be there. As soon as I seen that, I told her start the camera. And I have the security footage as well. And a lot of those I put videos up in my but to bring me expired paperwork. And then I got then from the prosecuting attorney and the county, I got paperwork saying, "Up, we couldn't serve you, so the court's canceled," which is the strangest thing I've ever gotten, but they still continue to harass me. They say
Is the property in your name?
It's in my wife's name.
That's another problem, in my opinion.
It is, because they're bullying her. I'm gonna put it in my name solely. That way,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't advise you to do that. And I can't give you legal advice, but I can sure give you my lay opinion on it. And trusts are the only way to own property. Have an out-of-state trustee. That's not going to happen as far as a conversation on this stream, but that's how they do property. And,
I follow you.
Property is so misunderstood. I was watching a video last night, and you know there are auditors that are really strong on where public property is, but really weak on where private property is. Public property easements can go across private property. In other words, there's an easement for the public utilities and or sidewalks, but that doesn't mean that that's not the owner's property out to the road. It just means that there's a public easement there.
Right.
And so I hear people saying, this is not your property. Well, that's factually incorrect as far as the law goes. But, and I'm sure Merb will get on me here for saying that I'm giving legal advice or whatever, or whoever. I don't give a fuck. That's my lay opinion. But I've done a lot of work on real estate and land deals. So, having property in your own name is a sure way to ask for hassle, especially if you're an activist.
Right. Yeah, and it's just recreational land, you know. So it's I didn't put a residence there, so I'm lucky as far as that goes, right? I don't have much to lose there. It's just a tract of land, you know, recreational land. So
Hot Rod says, word of advice, good citizen. I know it may be hard as hell, but bite your tongue. and be civil. Don't cuss or call names. That way they can't use that as evidence and say you was disorderly. I say, first of all, lalakezia. Have you ever heard of that word?
Not me, no. What do you say, lalakezia?
Hey, Hot Rod, go Google that word real quick. And
But
the thing, lalakezia is when someone finds relief from using profanity or cursing.
well, in Hot Rod was live with me when I was trying to make my complaint, and I said fuck. I said, and that was the only curse word used that they can claim, right? And it was used in the context of he fucked me over, he fucked me out of it. And they didn't want to call the cops then, but as soon as I said that that guy wasn't his boss and he was nobody, then all of a sudden, call the cops. You need to leave. You know, it, it it wasn't because of the word that was used that I was right. It was more
Their ego.
so yeah, it's the way I see it, at least, you know. And 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 I get it. Like if I was dealing with civil people, then it wouldn't be hard to be civil, right? Like I can be civil with anybody, but if they're not civil, you can't be civil to an uncivil entity, right? Like they're not civil to me. I mean, they've denied me all access and my rights. So it's hard to be civil with anybody like that.
Yeah, well, when you're in an excited state, they can't ask you to be civil either. But the and let's be honest, coercive behavior, it triggers adrenaline. If you have a PTSD or some other mental health issue, it's going to throw you into a state of reactiveness. So, and they know this. They know this, and that's where they try to get you to go. They want to get you there so they can aggress even greater. It's amping up the escalating the response level.
I can pull the video up. Like say I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing, man. And yet they weren't going to allow me to make a complaint. So that's just I don't know. So I've tried all forms, you know, and I've even documented all forms that way. I have it, but it's been stonewall. I've been stonewalled. It's fine. I know what they're doing. It's a small town, you know. They love it. I'm gonna screen share a couple of these funny clips because you might get a kick out of a couple of them. Let me see. Set this up real quick. All right. Should be good. Let me see. I don't know how to put you up there instead of me. Anyway, all right. So.
You need to get off my property.
Your mic.
This is my land and I'm going to defend it. You drive away that way.
Mute your mic. You've got a loop.
All right, hold on. Let me do that real quick.
You're trespassing. You ain't getting no ID. Okay. You're on my land. You're going to go to jail. Okay, show me. I will.
Yeah, you will.
Ma'am, who are you, please?
You're going to take me to jail for not showing you ID. Please get off my land.
No, I'm going to do it. for
Please
reasons.
get off my land. I'm going to ask you one more time.
I already did.
Please.
So now.
Goodbye.
I would avoid saying please next time.
We are recording this whole incident. Thank you.
Good for you.
Hey,
Uh,
I got this code
Pacific-
enforcement guy
Nobody has nothing to say to you.
in my
Our
face
right
right
is to
now,
remain silent, and
taking
that's what we
pictures
choose
of
to do.
everything, and
You
I've
stand-
asked him
You
nicely to
stand
leave.
there.
I've been
This is-
recording the whole conversation. TJ just called 911, and he's still not leaving.
Stop getting close.
No.
Is your name Bunker?
Do you have any paperwork?
I'm telling you.
You
right
have
now.
no paperwork with you?
None.
Yeah, they're
Goodbye.
right here.
It's
Well,
on your
this
phone.
is
That
the-
does.
So this is the guy who was the cop, right? I told you earlier. He was the cop.
Right.
All right, so now he's code enforcement. Now this was right when he became code enforcement. Those were the same incidents. It's clipped. There was 8+ minutes of footage, man. I called the sheriffs. He wouldn't even leave. He had no paperwork. He came through my gate. Oh man, I was heated. He kept grabbing for his gun. I'm like, oh man, okay. So we recorded that incident. That's one of many that I have on there, but oh yeah, it's just crazy. And somewhere on there, I got the taser one too. That's the footage is kind of, there was a lot of action going on at the time, but it's just crazy. And they come up there and do what they want. And you see, he had no paperwork, nothing. It's a personal vendetta, you know? So I got videos up there. There's a guy cutting my fence. Well, him and the code enforcement are good buddies. And so they're trying to run me out of there. Matter of fact, they're trying to buy my land from me forcefully. I got video clips of the neighbor. Well, just tell him to take the $5,000 and go on, and everything, all the problems go away, basically, right? So, yeah, they're trying to run me out.
Well, bro, I'm gonna have to hop off here. I have other things I got to do today, but I just want to stop in, say hello, and chat a little bit.
Yeah, man, it was good having you. I appreciate you coming.
10-4. Y'all have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Lock Forest Institute. He says, take my sign. Yeah, Jeff did say that, though. Oh, and that may be the case, but when you tell people to go to hell in such a way, they look forward to the trip you want. As a good citizen, must make the blow up first, then you have a just case. And that's the problem. Like I said, there's no win in there. It's a small county. You're not gonna win, you know. I've owned there for like 3 years, you know, and this stuff been going on way before I come. Yeah. Well, when it comes to defending my family and my land, man, yeah, I do. I mean, I put precautions into place so these people can't just come up on my stuff like that. I have rights. Never once have they ever had a warrant to come on my land, period. So I wouldn't care if it's the code enforcement guy or it's somebody intending to rob me. You're going to get the same results if you come trespassing on my land. You're going to catch me in a defensive state and you're going to see me amped up. And when I ask you to leave, how many times, and you just stand there. So You see. Hot Rod. You talking about the fat dude with the gray hair? Is that what you're talking about? The guy who's in those videos, code enforcement. Is that who you're referring to? What was the purpose of the very first visit? Because him and I got some history way before he was a code enforcement. You know, Hot Rod, I don't know. I haven't had it appraised actually anytime recently. Yeah. So, yeah, as far as what was the purpose of the very first visit? Well, he used to be a deputy. He was a sheriff's deputy before I bought land there, and he's friends with the fence cutter. And so, like, my first incident with him, first time even meeting him, was when he was over visiting with a neighbor. So, that would be like my first visit, first time. So, so basically, yeah, it started back when he was a deputy. What you're trying to say, I guess. But, well, Spirit in the Sky, it is most definitely retaliation for past problems. So what happened is we started having issues with the neighbor, and the sheriff didn't want to do anything. Like they wouldn't do anything. This guy was destroying our stuff, and they're like, oh, it if we don't see it, it didn't happen. And if even with security footage, they're like, well, there's no sound, or they'd come up with all different reasons. But Bruce Newman, the sheriff in that video, he came out to my camp and he sat down and watched video footage of that guy, the deputy, giving personal rides to the neighbor. And so then that started a conflict of interest between Clint Bowler, the guy who's code enforcement in that video, when he was a deputy. And so then my neighbor, like 2 Julys ago, decided he was going to shoot like 60 rounds in our directions, 3 clips worth he shot in our direction. So he called the law, and the responding officer was no other than Clint Bowler. That was the deputy that responded to the call. And he didn't even want to give us a witness statement, any complaint forms or anything. And he said he's not dealing with it. It's a conflict of interest, and he left. 3 hours later, another deputy showed up, and they ended up hauling him off to jail, and he bailed right out, I guess. The charges ended up getting dropped. We put 8 witness statements in that day. And yeah, so that guy couldn't come and arrest the neighbor, but because of conflict of interest, but he can continually come to my property. Even as a deputy, he came to my property multiple times trying to give directives and just trying to run me out of there. So I've been complaining about this guy for a long time, and I was able to complain about him as a deputy to Bruce Newman, the sheriff in the video. But since he's been code enforcement since July, I've been trying to complain to his boss. about him and explain the conflict of interest and that it's retaliation. So I've been unable to contact his boss to be able to show any of that. What started this is just us talking. What started what, Hot Rod? Oh, I don't know what you mean. What started? I mean, the neighbor since the first day that we stepped foot on the land has been threatening us. So I tried to be neighborly with him. But he's not the neighborly kind of guy, I guess. He don't want nobody out there. He's got a little bit of land and he's got those animals. He wants them to be able to run and not have nobody around. And supposedly 40 years or something they've been out there and don't want change, and I have that in recording, basically, him saying that it's just the fact that I bought the land out there that makes him this way. And he just so happened to be friends with the deputy when I came along, so he used him as the tool to try to push me out. So see, and that's the thing, Spirit in the Sky, like John Galusha is the county administrator. He's the one that handles all that kind of stuff, and he won't talk. So I've went to the courthouse, I've tried calling, leaving messages, certified mail. He won't talk. So we're at a dead end there. And I mean, yeah, we got lots of other videos on here too. So all different encounters. So this encounter, the neighbor said we were trespassing on his land. And so they showed up. So they showed up as my wife was pulling out. They come just whipping in my driveway. Blocked her right in. Wouldn't allow her to leave. So then we have let's see. Let's see here. We got this one. I have to mute my mic.
Docket means a schedule. You were scheduled for a court date on the 21st. However, that is not valid if you don't get served with the summons. The summons is the legal order for you to go to court. You have not received the summons. That not too smart deputy didn't even pay any attention to the other one, and it wasn't even valid when he gave it to you. And so we had to reissue it, and that's what the new court date is. If you got served, well, you did not get served because I didn't do that. A docket.
All right, and that's the code enforcement guy on that recording. That's the code enforcement. Because like I say, this deputy that came out and served these papers, the papers weren't no good. He shouldn't even have been there. He had no right to be on my land. No warrant, no signed papers, no nothing. So, and now this guy is the guy that served the paperwork. There's a conflict of interest. He spit in my wife's face before. He's got in her face and he yelled so loud that he spit in my wife's face. And so she reported him for that. And yet there's no conflict of interest there. And he he tries to come after my wife, and I step in between him and her. Didn't go after him. I stepped in between him and her so he couldn't spit in her face again. And so that's when he pulled out his taser because he wasn't able to get in her face. And the taser came out a few times actually after that as well. So I've never heard of anybody using a taser to serve paperwork, but that's just me. And yeah, Hot Rod, you're right. The county administrator is who his boss is. Yes, that's his boss now because now he's code enforcement. Bruce Newman was his boss. The guy on the last video, the sheriff, that was his boss. I don't know what happened, so I can only speculate. But either way, he's not a deputy anymore. He's code enforcement. I think they say he retired or something as a deputy. And yeah, he went over, took the job as code enforcement. And so his boss is the county administrator, who I have certified mailed. So he don't want to talk. Period. So there is no complaints to be made. And I made sure that when I mailed him that he knew what I'm trying to get a hold of him about, you know? It was multiple issues. So yeah. He did not want to talk about it. And so yeah, and he's friends with this guy. And I have a recording of this guy right here saying he's friends with the code enforcement man. So this is why he's allowed to do what he does. He can just come out and I just spent like $2,000 on that fence. And he's like, well, we're gonna cut it. So that's a shared fence post right here. So I had no problem sharing the fence post, but obviously you don't like to share. So that post is half on my property, half on his. So I gotta take him to civil court and have him move his fence over. But he believes he can destroy it. And it's okay. Yeah. I got this one here. He says that they got drones that fly over my camp. This guy.
My footage wearing a deputy's uniform.
What I'm saying
In
is,
code
when you make
enforcement.
your complaints, make it to the sheriff. Yeah.
Oh, Bruce don't give a shit about anything I say no more.
Well,
He's over it because of this guy. So
I went right down there and they refused to let me do a restraining order or a protection order against him when all that stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And
that's
he
why I
had
was
threatened
talking
us.
to the mayor. I got video footage. I told him I'll blow the top off all of it. I don't give a
the
shit.
mayor has nothing to do with
That
that.
ain't gonna blackmail me, man.
No, I agree with you. But if you guys are going to
And
do
that
it,
was definitely personal business he was here trying to handle. Trying to tell me I can't run my generator, which I know.
but if you guys are going to make your complaints, make sure they go to the commissioners, not the mayor, because the mayor, this isn't city limits. So the mayor has nothing to do with that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But and he knows that, but he sits on the board with Clint. And so that kind of gives him a heads up, seeing the footage of what kind of blackmail.
So yeah, they're all well aware that Clint has been trying to blackmail me. All of them. and it doesn't matter. So what do you do, Hot Rod, when the county administrator don't want to talk, huh? Even stood out in front of the building with signs as a last ditch effort. Believe me, that ain't what I'd rather have done with my day. Spirit in the sky. I have family who went through the same ordeal years ago. My best advice for you is to sell your land and buy elsewhere. This will never end with the neighbor. Yeah, it's like I say, that's just a camp over there. So we've been trying to just get everything that we had set up, get it out of there, so it can't continue to be damaged. So, yeah, basically that's what we've done is just tried to get everything out of there. But every time we show up, the county shows up, and it's crazy. So they've been not making it easy. So not at all. Well, the county administrator is an elected position, so he's elected, you know. And who would the boss be? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not selling it. I think it's one of them things. I'll keep it. The value keeps going up and up. So we got what? Somebody asked me that earlier. I think it was Hot Rod asked what it appraised at or something. But yeah. Don't we didn't mess with the appraisal. We would have done it after the home was built. Then it would have been appraised. But since then, I mean, we just have a taxable value. Hot Rod says the county council and attorney. Right. Which Google them. So the guy in the video, the show me ID or go to jail guy, the guy who's been harassing me that I'm trying to complain on, he sits on this board. He's on the county council, Hot Rod. He's ward number 1. So you can count going to the county council out. He's ward number 1. So, and the attorney, well, you'd have to Google the attorney if you want to. I'm not even going to talk about this. But yeah, Google the attorney and you'll see. Tattoo man, I would build a permanent building on the property if it's legal to on your property. Oh, we had thought about it. We were going to build a house over there actually, and we squashed that idea. Forget that. I don't want my property taxes going up. I don't want to be paying them any more money than what they're getting. So yeah, and that's the thing. We have talked to the state reps. Yeah, we have. We've went that far, but it's hard to say. But it's almost like they're just used to it in these small towns, right? Like, it's just a little corruption. Get used to it. So. enlightening. Yeah, you're right. And I'm not giving no legal advice really. Everybody's got their opinions on what to do and what not to do. Me, I'm not gonna waste no more money on it. Um, I'm not gonna allow them to force me to sell it either. So, um, the neighbor seems to think I'm gonna sell it to him. That's the last thing that's gonna happen. So, um, we do actually have a way to put the land into trust. And we've been looking into that as well. So, um, yeah, I mean the land isn't nothing special. I mean, some of you guys seen it on my live video, but Tattoo Man, corruption does not fit the news groups. Uh, whatever you want to say, you know. So corruption is a hard one to deal with. They don't make that easy at all. Like I got a news anchor right now, actual news anchor here, semi-local. They offer to do a story on the fence cutter, but that's as far as they'll go. They can't go any further because once you get into exposure, it creates problems for them, I suppose. So, viewer demographic is the words they use to tell us. So, and I mean it's like a 3,000 under 4,000 population for the county. It's the poorest county in the state of Colorado, last I knew. So, um, I'm in like a subdivision almost. It's classified as a subdivision. It was subdivided in the 70s. So we're able to do like a well there, even though we don't have 35 acres. Most places in Colorado make you have 35 acres to get a well permit. So we have that going for the land. It's off a maintained county road. Little things like that. So the values just only increased since we've bought it. So, yeah. So we plan on figuring out what to do with it. It just won't be what we plan to do with it because, like Hot Rod said, well, county council and the county attorney. So the county attorney is also the fence cutter's attorney. The county attorney is also the fence cutter's attorney. And the county council, the code enforcement is Ward 1. Okay, so does that help you out with that at all to understand why I can't go that route? I have went to the county council meetings. He sleeps through them, the code enforcement guy. But yeah, so for now it'll just sit idle. The taxes are low because it's poor. It's not, the taxes aren't high. They're not going to get rich off me. So, and I'll still be able to have a say as long as we own there. So hopefully they'll see some change coming. They did get their votes in, so we'll see what kind of change comes from that there locally. It seems that the county administrator, I guess he's been at it for 15 years. So quite some time, 15 years. Lightning says the news wants the investigation, trial, and verdict before they are willing to get involved. They don't want to be part of the process unless it serves them. The same situation as with blind justice. Correct. That's well put because, I mean, it's what it comes down to. Self-serving. And that's why I started this channel because, you know, I figured maybe I can even help a few others out in the process that may need exposure too, that can't get it. And locally here, I have a few interviews that are lined up because the same thing, that the news don't want to serve those people. And so I've been putting together my software and getting everything set up so I can actually start doing interviews with them so they can tell their story. It's open panel, guys. If anybody wants to come up, just click the link and talk about whatever. Getting my watch minutes up there. That too, man. Sit on it if you can afford it until the price goes up. That's smart. Yeah, well, and the price is going up. I sit right behind the state park. I got many things going for me there. So it was an investment purchase to begin with. So, yeah, and the price is going up. The county's got a lot of land selling, and I got a lot of nice trees where a lot of my neighbors don't, and just a little extra protection because I'm on a mesa, but dip down from the wind. It's a super windy county. So yeah, it'll just gain value as it goes, man. And I think, let's see, taxes on it are like less than 100 a year or something. It's not much. I mean, it's not going to break our bank or nothing. So, but I'm not going to leave my stuff there to get destroyed either. You know, I thought I could just set it up and go there when I want and have what I need there and not have to worry about toting stuff back and forth, whatever. And that's not how it's going to work. All right, Spirit in the Sky, you have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. I'll do my best to stay safe. If anybody wants to come up, just hit that StreamYard link in the chat and just go through the prompts. It's real easy. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to get my subscribers up to 1,000, guys. I got a long way to go. It's hard to get out mobile without that 1,000 subscribers. So you have to use the Streamlabs app. Yeah, you got to. I heard already things. I'm glad I'm in my secret little location here, safe as I can be. So you do what you got to do to get to feeling safe too. They were saying in the news Denver was boarded up and Walmart stopped selling guns and ammo. I was hearing all kinds of stuff. And I don't know, but I know there'll be a lot of these auditors on the front lines watching, keeping their pulse on society, you know, paying attention to what's happening. So, but it is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Nobody wants to come up. I suppose. Lightning says your efforts are not in vain. Those criminals are being forced to look at their own corruption. That is worth its weight in gold. Well, I'm sure they viewed my videos, at least Eric's videos. It was funny because the mayor actually posted Eric's video from that day on the local Facebook page. So yeah, they've seen themselves, and I mean, I'm just one person, so I suppose I should probably end the stream if no one's coming up. Did they put it back on the shelves, Tattoo Man? Yeah, I didn't even look here, really, to be honest, but it's just what I had heard, you know. But I suppose, yeah, I'm probably gonna end this stream and call it a day. Go get some stuff done. Sun is shining. I got plenty to do. Y'all be safe out there. Try to stay away from the crazy. And I'll catch you next time. If any of you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that. Appreciate y'all. You guys have a good day. Thanks, man. I'll try to be safe. You do the same. Later.